Welcome to Bloodbath TV. Today we're going to talk about High Kick Angels. It's literally Japanese high school girls kicking ass.
We were recommended this movie by Deke, our top donator over on Patreon. And when he said, hey, check out High Kick Angels, I really didn't have any idea what to expect. It's not a horror movie, but it is one of the cutest movies that we've ever watched. The cast is adorable, but also badass at the same time. We are gonna talk spoilers, but like, not a lot really happens. It's basically just a bunch of girls kick a bunch of ass. But if you want the opportunity to recommend a movie for us to review, check out the Patreon, linked in the description. But we're gonna talk about it. So we've got a cast of 5. We've got Fuyumi, who is in charge of the high school film club. She's making an action movie, and it stars a couple of her friends. We've got Miku. She's this adorable ballerina. She's like the most adorable person in the movie. She doesn't really know how to fight, so she fights with her feet, her pointed feet that stab like knives. We've got Asuka, who kind of fights like Tony Jaa, but less knees, but very similar style. Then we've got Sakura, aka Dragon May, who is the star of the film that they're creating, and she's in her own little world. Like, she just wants to embrace the character at all times and fight, fight, fight. It's great. And then we've got my personal favorite, Maki, or Angelica, and she's the leggy badass. So we're talking High Kick Angels. She kicks the highest. She has the longest legs I've ever seen in my life. She's got very long legs. She uses them very well. She does crazy kicks that I've never seen before. At least, not as sexy. I've really grown a new fetish today.
Kind of turned into Murray from Flight of the Conchords.
Well, there you were, your head down to your legs and your legs down to the floor. Leggy blonde, goodbye.
I already like Tifa. We've already done the Rule 34 on that. I don't know what it is. I don't need to explain why I found her extremely attractive.
It's because Angelica is supposed to be the sex symbol of this movie, of the High Kick Angels.
That's true.
That's what they wrote in for her character.
They nailed it. It was confusing when we watched this movie because it starts off and we're like, oh, maybe it's a zombie movie, because we're watching the film within a film that Fuyumi and her friends are filming, and it's just like an action thing, and they're grabbing this treasure chest, and it's really cool. It's a nice choreographed fight, and there's some zombies, including like a pervy teacher who grabs Sakura like awkwardly, and
It looks like he's going for a little nibble.
well, he's a zombie. He should go for a little nibble. Ease up on the high school girls, though. But after all that's finished, they're in like an abandoned high school, and then a couple trucks pull up. We've basically got Michael Jackson walking out right from Moonwalker. We've got our
Latex lady and the recorder.
and the recorder girl. I can't tell if she is the daughter of the girl in the red or if that's her like dommy mommy.
They had a moment later on in the film.
She has like a little collar on her where it's like, okay, now go fight.
She's the Jet Li of this film. Unleashed. Remember that movie?
You take his collar off, he beats us all to death.
Picture the club activities and like the characters in like a high school anime setting. It's like School Rumble. That is probably a great comparison. If they were to make a live action School Rumble, this is what I would imagine it would be like. Tenma and the gang, Harima.
Don't play dumb with me, Harima. You and Eri, you've been shot through the heart by love. Shaka boom.
I love School Rumble. Despite wearing a Fruits Basket t-shirt, I'm telling you right now, School Rumble, go check it out.
So like this whole crew is coming to the high school because they're looking for 10 billion yen that apparently the old principal like was embezzling money, and so they're just here to collect it. And they've got their little laptop with a bunch of USBs.
And this is where Dragon May, she sees it happening, and instead of freaking out like everyone else, she goes into a fight scene right away. This film is literally fight scene after fight scene after fight scene. It's interesting because there isn't a story.
The girls don't want them to have the information.
Okay, there is a story. This film is literally just like classroom A, fight. Classroom B, fight.
And I'm for it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. The fight scenes are what you're here for in this movie.
Absolutely. And they're all great. I loved them. The fights are really well done, but they're also quirky. There's fun moments, like the very first one with Sakura. She like gets a bucket on her head and she's patting this guy's ass with a broom. Maybe someone's scratching a chalkboard and the bad guys can't respond because they're like grabbing their ears, but they pull a fast one on her. Like, it's just so stupid, but so fun.
Anytime that Maki is fighting, it's really, really intense. Like, she goes hard with all of her kicks, especially like the one kick that she does where like her foot goes up and like a guy's got a chair and she just smokes the chair down and takes him out. This also reminded me of a lot of wrestling matches. The yes kicks. That's what it was like people just like standing there, it's like kick, 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 and like you could just picture the crowd chanting.
The way that it's edited is pretty good too, because like you have certain moments where maybe they're in a tighter space, so it's like really fast cuts. And then you also have longer takes where you can actually see that all these girls are being their own stunt women and just actually doing the choreography, which is great.
Yeah, like the scene with Asuka and Fuyumi. Asuka, in comparison to Sakura, she's not like the main star. She's not the one you would expect to be like the biggest badass. But then when they go in that classroom, she just like puts all fear aside and has an amazing fight scene, but then breaks down crying. She's like the realist out of all of them, because she's like, I fought because I didn't want to die, but I'm actually scared. That's why I'm crying.
But it makes for a good movie.
I don't want to call her Sakura. I want to just keep calling her Dragon May.
Yeah, we
Because
can just do that.
That's her. That's who she is. That's who she feels. I loved the contrast between her and Maki, in how serious Maki was.
You can't call her Dragon May and her Maki. You gotta call her Dragon May and Angelica.
No, she'll always be Maki to me.
Leggy mommy.
Like, she's leggy mommy to you and Maki to me.
I feel like I'm pretty dominant in most things in my life, but there's some people that I would just sub to. Not just on Twitch or on YouTube, but you know what I mean.
I can name two more for you.
Name them.
Jennifer Tilly
Okay.
and Tiffany Shepis.
Getting weaker by the second. Also, I'm bricked up under here. I gotta leave.
A few inches later.
So Maki's so serious, and then you get those really hilarious comic relief moments with Dragon May. With her fighting style, but my personal favorite is her hacking ability. We got all our goons or henchmen, but we got mini bosses.
Yeah!
I mean, we glanced over them when we talked about the story between our white suit wonder.
Is that what his name is? Not Short Kingpin.
Nope, he's white suit wonder and the recorder. They're gonna have their adventures as they work for Lady Latex.
So who's your favorite mini boss?
I like White Suit Wonder. He's got his Clockwork Orange look going on here. He seems to fight with honor. He fought against Maki. She lost. He's like, all right, I'm out of here. Game's over. But then when he welcomed her in for the rematch, he didn't fight dirty once.
There's a big showdown and they're all fighting. And he's like, hey, you walk the green carpet this way. Come on, come on. We'll go into another little like hallway and we'll just fight one-on-one. That was nice of him.
If I'm being honest, Recorder actually had a terrible mini boss fight.
Yes, I agree. Like the final fight with her kind of sucked. Although I thought she was cool. It was a nice moment for Sakura because she was talking about wanting to be like Bruce Lee, and she is the Dragon May. So she did a big old dragon punch, broke the recorder, and that was it. Like we mentioned, there was like that dumb situation. Her collar was still on, so she couldn't fight back. That's just unfortunate. So she got one punched, and that was it.
And then, of course, we got our boss scene with Lady Latex. I thought it was pretty funny when the teacher came back in. Instead of Dragon May taking out Lady Latex, just like jump kicks and destroys the teacher again. Like, I thought that was pretty funny. I liked how as he goes down, he's like, the film club canceled.
But I think the final fight was kind of like lackluster. I wish there was a little bit more, but whatever. Like we had a lot of fights up until then. I do think that building up all of these mini bosses for as long as they did, the Recorder Girl should have definitely had a better fight, and Lady Latex should have had a better fight because they were basically done and over with within seconds. But at the same time, it meant more for our main characters' stories than it really did for the enemy stories. At the end of the day, this movie was really fun. I didn't know what to expect going in. The title and poster delivered, and I enjoyed all of our fight scenes. It was fun, it was upbeat, it was just a good time. I don't really have any negatives other than I wish some of the boss fights kind of went a little bit further, but all in all, I really enjoyed all of our characters. It was just good. So I'm gonna go with 4 motivational teachers out of 5.
I definitely would be kicking myself if I didn't say this now, so move over, Charlie. There's some new angels in town. I thoroughly enjoyed all of our high kick angels here. There was a good balance and a nice dynamic with each of them having their own individual traits and styles. It really does showcase the martial arts skills, and the choreographed fight scenes are a lot of fun. The story, it didn't really do it for me, but when you're going to watch a martial arts movie, you're not really watching it for the story in most cases. You want to see those kick-ass fight scenes. And this film does deliver that. So with that being said, I give this film 4 teas and marshmallows out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. You can also search on YouTube for each of these individual fights, but I would recommend watching the whole thing in its entirety. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything here on Bloodbath TV.